I don't know about all of you, but I was sort of disappointed at first when I watched the second season of Mermaid Melody because I kind of grew attached to Voice in the Dark. And my first impression of Yami no Baroque was that it was created solely to fill a quota for new second season songs while trying to sound as similar to Voice in the Dark as possible. Over time, though, I came to love Yami no Baroque just as much as Voice in the Dark, and I appreciate it in its own right. True, it's similar to Voice in the Dark in some ways, but Yami no Baroque feels more like it's on the theme of beautiful darkness rather than evil campiness. And so my ranking has much less weight on evilness this time around. This is a subtle but important change that some dubs handled better than others. So without further ado, let's dive right in and rank the different dubs of Yami no Baroque. Number 9. This is pretty much the only version of this song that I really don't like. As is normal for the Korean dub, the singers are off-key at times, but on top of that, their voices aren't matching up with each other very well. Their timing is off, and that makes it sound really bad. I mean, it sounds bad even just by itself, but that makes it sound even worse. The harmony is all over the place. Depending on where we are in the song, it's either weak, incorrect, or non-existent altogether, so unfortunately I have to rank this dead last. Number 8. The biggest problem with this version is that the singers just aren't very strong, which is pretty par for the course for the Hebrew dub. That being said, the harmony is handled correctly, and they even change the emphasis on some sections, which is kind of like what the Portuguese dub likes to do. So this is really only ranked low because other dubs outshine it. Having power is important for this song, and this version just doesn't really have it. But I want to give it some points for uniqueness, because I think it's awesome that they tried to add something different to the song. Number 7. I like this version okay, but ultimately it's just not as polished as higher ranking dubs. When you remove that evilness and echo effect that was in the French version of Voice in the Dark, you're kind of left with something that's sort of mediocre. Their timing isn't great, they're mostly in key, but it's not perfect. That being said, I understand why the echo effect was taken away. They did that in Season 2 to all of the songs, to the best of my knowledge. Even if it was still there, it wouldn't really mesh with Yami no Baroque, so it kind of just is a little sad, because it just means that you're left with a performance that's kind of just adequate. Number 6. The Portuguese dub handled Cheche Mimi's songs pretty well. In terms of points, this ties with my number 5 pick, though I would say that this version is technically inferior, and here's why. While I love the evil sound effects that the Portuguese dub added here, and I think that they're super unique and creepy, the harmony is really lacking, and sometimes it's not even there at all. And that affects the song's power as well. This song needs good harmony in order to be done correctly and have power and punch, so I can't rank this one any higher. Number 5. This version is good, but the singers don't sound like they're having quite as much fun as they were with the Voice in the Dark. And in my opinion, that's due to the difference in tone between the two songs. These singers are powerful and their harmony is done really well, but they were at their best singing Voice in the Dark and having fun. Overall, this is a good performance, but it's just not as good as some of the higher ranking dubs. Number 4. Here's the thing, the whole beautiful, perfect, overly polished thing that the Taiwanese dub does, it doesn't work for Voice in the Dark, but it really works for Yami no Baroque. The singers perform this beautifully, and the harmony is excellent. The only reason it's not ranked higher, as you might be able to guess, is simply that this version lacks a bit of personality and power. That aside, I really enjoy listening to it. I think that this is a solid version. Number 3. This was a tough decision to make. The original is superb as usual. You know, Sheshe and Mimi's voices mesh perfectly. The thing about this that I really don't like is just how weak the harmony hits. They're doing the proper harmony, but I just think the way that the mixing was done is that it doesn't sound very powerful. Like, the harmony doesn't hit as well as it hits for songs that are even ranked lower on this list. That being said, Sheshe and Mimi's voices fit the best in Japanese, and this is a very, very good version, but I don't think it's the best version of this song. Number 2. I love how the Serbian dub made little changes to how the song is sung. It actually sounds way more powerful and evil than the original. On top of that, the singers seem to hit most notes with an immense amount of strength. The harmony is good, pretty much on par with the Japanese dub. The thing that really makes this stand out is just how powerful it is. Overall, this version is amazing, but still not as perfect as my number 1 pick. Number 1. Wow, this is just amazing. Well done, Grease. The power and harmony present in this entire song is so unbelievably satisfying to listen to that I find myself going back to it time and again, something that I don't really do as often with the original Japanese version. If I have to be nitpicky, I'd say that this version didn't really make any significant changes or do anything unique, but the performance is so solid that it really just doesn't matter. This is 100% my favorite version of the song, so I'll let you listen to the rest of it.
Σου τρυπά το μυαλό, θολώνει το νου κι απλώνε τη σκιά κι όλα σ' απίστευτες γίναν κενό, μια μαύρη σιωπή να αγγίζει την κάθε καρδιά.
Unlike the last song we looked at, I feel like most every dub handled Yami no Baroque very well, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2. As such, listening and ranking the different versions of the song was a challenge, but ultimately very enjoyable. Do you disagree with any of my rankings? Leave a comment below with how you would have ranked them. Next time on Dub Judge, we'll be looking at Kizuna, another favorite song of mine. Until then, I'm Segastar. Have a wonderful night.